Hello everyone, welcome to my channel Similarity. In this video, I will teach you how we can generate mask in Houdini. Basically, knowing how to generate a mask is very important when it comes to motion design. And in Houdini, we can generate mask using different methods. We can use nodes, we can use Vex to generate a mask. And in this video, I will teach you a method where I basically use a node called MaskFromGeometry to generate a mask. And definitely in my future videos I will teach you other methods also. Okay, so jump right into it. Okay, so the first thing that we need is a grid here. Now I will change my size to something like this and my row count to 15 and column count to 15. Okay, now I will create a sphere here. Next I will increase the radius of this sphere to something like this, and don't worry, once I create the setup then I will explain everything. Now I will create a mask from geometry. Okay, one more thing. You can see that we have other nodes also, like mask along geometry, mask by feature, mask from target, mask from geometry, and these other nodes. Okay, so you can use these nodes also to generate a mask. But in this video, I will teach you about this particular node, mask from geometry. But don't worry, in my future videos, I will definitely create tutorial for them also, for the other nodes. Okay, so the core idea behind this node is basically this node calculates the distance of a point from a geometry. Okay, let me repeat it again. This node calculates the distance of points from a reference geometry. Okay, and then we can use that distance to generate a mask, right? So if I go inside this node and let me uncheck this. Okay, okay, so the first option, the first important option that we have is this distance metric. Okay, and inside this we have these three different options. So let me check this one by one. Okay, so the first and the default option is distance from surface. Okay, now if I visualize, okay, I think okay, right, we have to check this. Now if I visualize it here also, let me change our this to marker. And now you can see that we have a attribute called dist, which is basically the distance of point from the sphere. Okay, so now you can see each of the point on the grid will have a dist attribute which stores the distance of that point from a from our reference geometry, which is the sphere here. So if I talk about this particular point, you can see it has a value of 2.008353 something. So basically this is the distance of this point from the sphere. And don't get confused, it's not the distance from the center of the point, it's the distance from the surface of the reference geometry. Okay, you can also see these distances here also. Okay, and similarly for the point which is outside, let's say for this point we have a value of 2.92 something. So this is the distance of this point from the sphere, from this somewhere here in the surface. Okay, so that what this node does, it basically calculates the distance, right? Now if I change the metric to inside geometry, now all the values which are outside will turn to negative and all the values which are inside will be positive, right? You can already see here 1.41, which is a positive value basically because it's inside, because this point is inside, and the points which are outside will have a negative distance value. Okay, now if I change this to outside, then all the values which are outside will be positive and all the values which are inside will be negative. Okay, sorry. Okay, so this is the basic function of this node. It basically calculates the distance, right? And also we can visualize it in a form of color also. Let me change it to color. Red. Here you can see basically the inside is black because the value which are inside are negative, and this one is white because the value outside are positive. Okay, now if I change this to here, the value now inside are positive, that's why we have a white color here, and value outside are negative, that's why we have a black color here. And similarly for this, value which are exactly on the sphere are, has a zero distance, that's why we have black color kind of rim here, and value which are inside and outside have a positive value, that's why we have a white color here. Okay, so this is the core idea behind this node. Now let's talk about the other attribute, which is mask. So basically a mask is nothing but the inverse of distance, but it also has a range from 0 to 1. Okay, let me repeat it again. Mask is inverse of the distance and it has a value from 0 to 1. Okay, so now if I visualize it, let me just change this to outside so that you can understand it better. So this is our distance attribute. Okay, all the values which are outside will have a positive value, all the values which are inside will have a negative value. Now if I visualize our mask here, okay, let me change this to color. You can see mask is basically opposite of distance, right? See, when I visualize the distance, outside is white, inside is black. When I visualize the mask, inside is white, outside is black. Okay, but you must be wondering why our mask color is kind of grayish. Why it's not like white like a distance? Because the value of mask is limited to 0 to 1. That's why we have this grayish kind of color here. Okay, sorry. Okay, so this is the core idea behind this node. And also let me show you one more thing. We have this radius attribute here. Oh, sorry, not attribute, it's a parameter here. Basically we can use this to control the fall off of the mask here. Let me increase the row count also so that you can see it better. Okay, so basically you can use this node, use this parameter to control the fall off, right? Okay, also if I change the radius from parameter to max distance, then basically what this do is it's fall up to the max extent of the geometry. The fall up goes from the center to the maximum extent of the geometry if I change the radius from to parameter to max distance. Okay, but I think this parameter is better because we can, we can have a control in the case of parameter. We can control it, right? Also we have a ramp here. You can use the ramp to control the mask here. You can create something like this. It's totally depends on your creativity, what you want to do with it. Okay, so this is the node we can use to generate a mask using a geometry. This is the core functionality of the node. Also let me show an example how we can use this node to create something really cool. Okay, so first let me create a grid here. Also I will increase the row count to 15 and column count to 15. Okay, next I will create a curve here. Okay, now I will create a curve which looks something like S shape. Okay, so this is our curve and this is the grid. Okay, now I will create our node mask from geometry. And if you can visualize, you can see that this is our mask. Okay, also we can increase the fall up also to something like this, right? Now I will create a poly extrude node here. And see, I only want to extrude the polygons which are, which has a mask value greater than 0. Okay, so I will write here mask greater than 0. Now I will screen the distance. Now you can see that nothing is happening because the mask attribute we have is a point attribute. So we have to convert it into a primitive attribute because extrusion happens on the primitives, not on the points, right? So we will use a attribute promote node. We'll do points to primitive. So you can see here that our polygons are extruded, which are lying around the curve. Okay, so let me decrease it to, yeah, this one looks good. Okay, one more thing we can do here. Let me also give some randomization to the height of this extrusion. So for that we can go to local control and enable this, and we can use the dist attribute in this case. But right now you can see that nothing is happening because also we have to enable it here, and also we have to promote that. And one more thing, to to make it randomize, one more thing you have to do is randomize the value of the dist attribute. So what we can do is attribute randomize dist and poly extrude, and okay, why it's not working? Because let me see, we have a distant primitive, and okay, here we have to check this individual elements, right? So you can see here they look some kind of like buildings, right? And here we can control this using our curve. See, very cool, right? So basically you can use this to create some kind of cityscape or buildings you are looking from a very far distance. Yeah, it's kind of you can say like a procedural building setup kind of thing. Okay, and if I show you, I have also created a setup where I give it color also. Here, this is the same setup, just only difference that I also gave this the color, basically using the this mask attribute, right? So you can control it here. Also, I will provide you this file so you can play along with it and do some different experiments. Okay, so this is it for this video, and basically this is my first video in the masking series, and I will also create other videos also where I'll show you other methods to generate mask in Houdini. And if you like it, please do subscribe my channel and hit the like button, and I feel really motivated when you do that, so thank you. Okay, thank you, see you in the next video. Thanks, bye.